it's me. I'm back. If you weren't here this morning, so you don't know why yesterday just went, I do apologise. A combination of the internet just going, no thank you, not today, I'm wanting a day off, and then my voice going, So, all sorts of technical difficulties, so I had to take the difficult decision to take a day off. I do apologise. Hopefully you weren't all sat at your computers going, but Mr. Harris's maths lessons. I hope you coped. There's a backlog now of different lessons. If you ever are stuck with things to do, you can watch some of the old lessons that maybe you missed for whatever reasons. We are here this morning to talk about what we're talking about. We're talking about expanding double brackets. Now, double bracket. This is probably one of the most difficult topics I'm going to do in this lesson, the transition one, the year 5 to 9. But it's not super hard, especially not with this guy explaining it. I'll do my best. I'm hoping it's just going to be something that makes sense to people. If you get stuck at any point, ask questions. Don't put in the chat, I don't get it, I don't understand. Write down, could you explain that bit again? Could you explain where you got that from? Question words, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Put a question in. People in the chat will help you. I'll try and help you. Other people will fly in and come and help you. Like superheroes will be there. Algebra Man. I'm sure that must be a superhero. Marvel haven't introduced him yet, but it definitely. I've waffled for too long. I'm waffling again, so let's go straight into the intro. So, expanding double brackets is what we're going to do. But first, before anything else, I am going to go straight over to your challenge for today. Your challenge for today is get as close as you can to 423 using only those 6 numbers once, and see. You don't have to use all 6. You can use up to the 6. See how close you can get. Feel free to put it in the live chat. But if anyone manages to get it, I'm not going to give an answer to this challenge. Who can be the first person to comment below the video with a solution that works? And I will be looking out for that and seeing, and I will flag to everyone when someone finally does this. I'm going to start doing this, having challenges that get put in the comments rather than just emailing or anything like that, or putting in the live thing. Anyone get that there? Hopefully you're all to trying that, and while you're doing that, I'm going to say some hellos. Hello, Alex Super Tiger and his mum. Hello, Willow and his mum. Her mum. Oh, I never checked. I do apologise, Willow. Good morning, Laginette. Good morning, Vera. Good morning, Advika. Good morning, Omarzad. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, everyone else. I do apologise for saying your name, Omar. I did not say that you didn't want me to say it. I've just done it. Stop it. Okay, I do apologise. Happy birthday to Willow's brother. And you're a girl. I do apologise, Willow. That's entirely my fault. Willow, happy birthday to your brother. What is his name? I'm sure you'll let me know. So how are we getting on with the challenge? Did anyone get anywhere close to 423? I believe when I was messing around with this earlier, I managed to get to 429, so I was 6 away. I haven't spent too long looking at it, but see how close you can get. I know it must be possible to get very. In fact, I'm just looking at it now. I can see how I could have got 427, so I'm 4 away at the moment. Feel free. Sophie's 425. So I love to see people. 422. Get that 422 written in the comments below the video, so that you can be the closest until anyone manages to get 423. If anyone by the end of the video manages, well played. Let's move forwards. We are looking. Here's another person's work. This is Avika, I believe's work, doing some algebra stuff. Remember, you share your work with me. I'm going to have a gallery. I was supposed to do it yesterday. Yesterday didn't happen, so it will happen Monday. A gallery of all your work. Interaction with me is brilliant because it makes me feel special and wanted. Moving swiftly on. Hello! I should be now on your screen. We're going to be talking about expanding. Expanding double brackets. The reason it's called expanding is because you start with the brackets and then you get rid of the brackets. And it's called expanding brackets. It's just a small bit of algebra. It's not something that will blow your mind, hopefully. It will just need a bit of practice. I believe this is true of all algebra. It just needs you to try and do a few. If the first one doesn't make sense, that's absolutely fine. That's why in the description below, if you click show more, the worksheet there has 20 questions on it with 20 answers, so you can check whether you're getting them right or not. And you can practice, and hopefully you'll get better. With that in mind, I am hoping you can see my whiteboard, which I've pre-prepared. Get me. It's almost like I'm organised. Just not quite. So, I'm hoping, there we go, I've got a little arrow. Here's my question. How do I expand, and I'll put the word expand there, x plus 5, x plus 4. Now, in order to understand this, we want to remember a little bit about what I did when we were doing the single bracket expanding. We did a lesson on simplifying expressions, which is why I'm doing this one next. It like follows on. We talked about what happens when there's a number with a bracket or a letter with a bracket. And it was a bit like when we went to the algebra shops. At the algebra shops, there are 5 baskets. And each basket has got an X, or some eggs, an X, and it's got a 4. And it's for that reason that this is 5 lots of X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 20. 5 lots of 4. So this is how we expand a single bracket. If we're doing x times x, it's x squared. Because if I've got an x and I times it by an x, I get a square. Which is why we call it x squared, because it makes a square of x's. And x times 4 is 4x. It's okay if you find that slightly confusing. We've only just learned some of this stuff, but I'm just trying to make sure that it hopefully makes some sense to people. It might be that the year 5s and 6s just cope with this slowly. That's absolutely fine. Remember, we've got 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s here today, potentially. So what do we do when we've got a double bracket? Well, actually, what we do is we do the 5 times x and 5 times 4 and the x times x and the x times 4. So we do both these things, and so overall we get x squared and 4x and 5x and 20. We go, the only thing that we can make easier, that's x squared. 4x's and 5x's make 9x. We're not allowed to add x's to x squareds. We're not allowed to add numbers to x squareds or x's. So that would be my final answer. There are other ways to lay this out to help you if this makes it easier. If you don't like this, this is called the FOIL method, and I'll explain why it's called the FOIL method in a second. F-O-I-L. The other way you can do it is you write x and 5, x and 4, and treat it like x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, x times 4 is 4x, and 4 times 5 is 20. Remember, we've got to times everything together. And you'll notice we've got the same things here. Look, x squared, that can add to that to make 9x. And we've got the same things. That stuff in green is the same as the stuff in purple, just laid out differently. You choose which way around you'd like to do it. Please bear in mind, this is the first one we've done. Please don't be put off because we've done one and it's a bit confusing. Because it's supposed to be. And we're just going to keep trying at it until it starts to make sense. So, all we've done is we've broken it down into this, which I'm going to explain why I've called it FOIL, or the grid, and you choose which one you'd like. Can I see another one, sir? Of course you can. Here we go. X plus 7, x plus 2. You choose which method you like. Now so here's the grid one. We'll do the grid one first, because it's got no new teaching. X and 7 and x and 2. X times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. x times 2 is 2x, 2 times 7 is 14, 2x and 7x added together makes 9x. So I think this makes x squared plus 9x plus 14. The FOIL method. What was her meaning when he said FOIL? It stands for first, outside, inside, last. First, outside, inside, last. First, outside, inside, last. What on earth do I mean by this? First, outside, inside, last. First is the first one from that one with the first one from that one. X squared. Outside is the outside one, the x and the 2. If you imagine that's the middle, the outside 2 are the x and the 2. So that's 2x. Inside will be the 2 nearest the arrow. 7 times x is 7x. And last, the last one is the 7 and the 2. The last one in the first bracket is the 7. The last one in the second bracket is the 2. First, outside, inside, last. 7 times 2 is 14. We then look at those two. They're the same, so we're allowed to combine them. That's why it's x squared plus 9x plus 14. Because we are grouping things together. Look, same answer. It's almost like it doesn't matter which method you use, it will still work. Now, for those year 5s and 6s who were like, I'd like it if there was a shortcut. There kind of is, but I don't want it to be a shortcut you just use without understanding these methods. But look at this. 7 and 2 adds to make 9. 7 times 2 is 14. You can always check your answer because they should add to make the middle one and times to make the 14. This wouldn't happen, by the way, year 9s, if you've ever got something where it's got like 2x plus 3 and x plus 5. We're not going to do any of those today. That's for more that's for more GCSE and for people doing that. But if we were doing that, this ruins this add and times method. But it's useful if you want a little check for how whether you're doing the right thing. It's a good way of doing it. So, this is question 2. I'm going to have a quick glance over at the questions to see if anyone's asking anything. While Omar and doing different things there. Okay. No more questions? Okay, so that hopefully means it's making sense to people. Because if it wasn't, they'd either be running away, and apparently 34 of you are still here. That could just be 17 of you with your mums. But hopefully we've got a lot of people here, so they're still following what I'm saying. That means maybe I'm making some sense. I do my best. Let's do another example. Now, for my next example, I'm just going to throw a spanner in the works. X plus 10, x minus 3. And we're not going to panic. We're going to go, okay, for those people who have been liking the grid method, we're going to go x and 10 and x and minus 3, giving us x squared, 10x, minus 3x, and minus 3 times 10. When we did the negative lesson, it all comes together, you see. I did a lesson on negatives, I did a lesson on expanding brackets. We're now putting them together into expanding negative brackets. And then 10x take away 3x means that this will make x squared plus 7x minus 30. Remember, we talked about the fact who wins, the positive team or the negative team. The positive team's got 10, negative team's only got 3, so the positive wins by 7. Let's check, verify that it comes out over here. Well, if we were using FOIL, first, outside, inside, last. Now, a girl who does was doing my GCSE with me, she likes to write it down the page and do the first one. So first ones are x, and she writes it under the F. X squared. The outside is minus 3x. Inside is plus 10x. And last is 10 times minus 3 is minus 30. If you're doing this, I would expect you showing all your working. Either showing these with your FOIL or showing the grid. You can't do these in your head at the stage we are where we're learning. I wouldn't expect you to. You might be able to have the ability to do so, but there's no backup if you go wrong. There's no check. Whereas if we've got it written down, we can easily check. Then we have to look at these two. 10 take 3 is 7x, so we end up with x squared plus 7x minus 30. And we verify they are the same, therefore we have a method of working. How could this work in a different context? Well, imagine you've got a field. It's a farmer's field, and he knows that it's 12 metres long. It's only a small field, potatoes. And he doesn't know how wide it is. So we're going to call it x. But he buys some more land. So he buys an extra 2 metres of land. That means he's got 12x there and 24. So his total land is 12x plus 24. So if he can remember, then he looks at his forms. It was 5 metres. He can put 5 in there and say, it's 12 fives plus 24 is 84 metres squared. I can see how much land I've got now. Because it might be that potatoes take up 2 metres squared each or something, and he needs to know how many potatoes he can grow, which in this case would be 42. But this can be applied also to this idea of, say for example, x plus 4, x plus 7. The farmer doesn't know how much he's got, but he extends it 4 metres this way and 7 metres this way. His total now must be x times x is x squared. That's what he had to originally. Then he's got 7x that way, 4x that way, and 28. All valid ways of doing these calculations. So we've got x squared plus that one and that one make 11x plus 28. I need to rub out that level 1. I don't know where it's snuck in from. So that's another way of looking at these things. Finally, those people who really want to push themselves, what do we do if they're both negative? X minus 4, x minus 6. We don't panic. We go first, outside, inside, last. FOIL. X squared. Outside is minus 6x. Inside, minus 4x. Last, minus 4 times minus 6. We are losing bad things. Happy days. It's plus 24. Collecting those negatives together, I've got 6 negatives and 4 more negatives. So I've got x squared minus 10x plus 24. Just to verify that's the same with this method, x and minus 4, x and minus 6, x squared minus 4x, x minus 6x, and minus 4 times minus 6, we're losing bad things, so happy days, so it's plus 24. Group those together, and we get x squared minus 10x plus 24. There we go. Hopefully that's making sense. Andrew's got bored already, so I think it must be a stage where people are getting a little bit bored, so I need to make sure that we're wrapping up there. So let's head back to the studio where we can talk a little bit about what's going on. So these questions, what I would like you to do, as well as the closest to 423, in the comments below the video, choose one that you'd like to answer. Please don't answer them all. Anyone who tries to answer them all, I will be forced to have to delete all the other ones because I want to give everyone a chance to contribute. And there's 6 here, so I've got 6 different contributions as opposed to one person doing all the answers. Choose one you'd like to put your answer. See if you can work out how to write x squared. You might have to just put x2 instead of x squared, but sometimes you can use a little hat symbol. But x, so expand one of these pairs of brackets on your own, put it in the comments below, and I'll respond on whether it's correct or not, or whether you need to practice, do something else to it, or whether you've made any mistakes. If that gives a chance for 6 different people to comment below. Okay, so that concludes the expanding brackets. It can be dry, but it is also empowering, because if you go away and practice this using the questions in the link below, you can then practice, get better at it, and then when you come to class when you're doing expanding brackets, and you'll be like, yeah, I can do these. Bang, 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 bang. You don't have to say bang. You could just, you might not even shake your head. You might just sit and do the questions. But hopefully this has made sense. Feel free to ask me any questions. There are challenges. Of course there's challenges. There's the ongoing best picture out of dots challenge, where if it's the first one you've watched, this is for this week. This is the Taskmaster challenges. Now, Taskmaster challenges only last for the week that we're doing them. So this is this week's Taskmaster challenges. The best picture made just out of dots using pencil or other things. Bonus points if I can see what it is. Send them in. There's also the expanding double brackets worksheet with answers. Send me pictures on Facebook and the normal places. Descriptions. In the description below the video, you can find links to the worksheets. And that is all till tomorrow. Hopefully you've learned something today. Why am I in May? Where have I said May? What have I done? Why have I said it's in May? Have I messed up? Have I put May on the back whiteboard? That's because I've been time travelling. That's what it is. I do apologise. That's one of the reasons I wasn't here yesterday. I've been doing time travelling. So I went forwards in time to there when I should really leave it at April, which is what it actually is. Just goes to show quite how difficult my life is to cope with. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Thank you so much. I hope that means that people have learned something there. Nice to see you, Theo. Yeah, hopefully I'll see some brilliant work from you. From me and the kitten, ciao. Or meow. No, maybe not.